All right, George, I take us to our next one. And this might on the surface seem kind of like a funny one, but it's really not. It's quite serious. And we wanted to highlight a documentary that was just republished by The Atlantic, and it talks about Cleveland's 1986 Balloon Fest. So, the United Way of Greater Cleveland attempted to break a world record by releasing 1.5 million balloons into the sky. A breathtaking but ultimately short lived spectacle. The celebration turned disastrous when an incoming storm forced the balloons down. So the whole city was covered in balloons, the whole water was covered in balloons. And as it turns out, the Coast Guard was undergoing a search and rescue mission for missing fishermen. And they were unsuccessful because the balloons made it impossible to kind of search for things out of place in water. So Nathan Truesdale's documentary Balloon Fest captures this cautionary tale. But George, I think the moral of this story is that sometimes spectacular fundraisers fail spectacularly. And this season of giving, I think as a nonprofits, we should take away that sometimes authenticity and getting back to basics and honing the message and showing how your organization drives impact is ultimately what's going to move the needle in helping fund your programs, not necessarily crazy stunts like this.
Yeah, beware of the chasing attention for attention's sake and always start with, relevance. It is much better to, frankly, get the eyes of 100 people that are aligned, that care, are relevant to you than 100,000 that don't care. It's tough because I think one of the things that stands out to me is this feels like the TikTok video that goes viral, right? That you're like, oh my gosh, if only we had the how to, do your hair with these kitchen products type of thing, but you're the, United Way in Milwaukee. Like, why does that matter? But the video got 500,000 views, got 15 million views. Why does that matter? How does that help you? And I think we have to start tacking toward relevance and not just chasing these like spectacle type things on social media. So this was like this metaphor in my mind, but I was like, quite literally, this was a disaster. It's different when obviously you're talking about balloons being like sent into the water like this and creating a mess. But I think that if I can just stick that metaphor in the back of your mind as you plan for the key performing indicators, goals, objectives, and key results for your next year planning, like be careful of it's dark. The the balloon parade there and setting records that don't matter.